Here we go, boys. So anyway, guys, wanted to say hello and see how everybody's doing. Gosh sakes, got some more 40s stuff to send you today. Let's see, man, some of you men may not return. This is the big one. And what else do they always say in the movies? Anyway, we all hope you have a good time. We miss you. And we hope we can come ashore one of these days and see you all again. Carry on. Remember the old newsreel? Da-da-da-da-da-dum. Da-dum.
The weekend war broke out. I was at a house party at Kilda. And after Mr. Chamberlain's moving words to the nation on that fateful September Sunday, I turned to my husband, as he then was, and said, "Squiffy, this is the end of an era." But I did not feel then that all was quite lost. And immediately afterwards, I got on the phone to Berlin to try to speak to Herr Hitler, who'd been so kind to us on our last visit to Germany that summer. Unfortunately, the line was engaged. There was nothing I could do to avert the carnage of the next 6 years.
Mr. Charles Spedding of Hoxton remembers?
I'd always remember that day that war was declared. I was out in the garden at the time, planting out some chrysanthemums. It was a grand year for chrysanthemums, 1939. I wish we could have another one like it. My wife come out to me in the garden and told me the ghastly news about the outbreak of hostilities. "Never mind, my dear," I said to her. "You put on the kettle. We'll have a nice cup of tea."
Put out that light! All over Britain, the humble little people showed the same spirit of courage.
You could always tell the difference between theirs and ours. Ours had a sort of steady, reliable British hum, rather like a homely old bumblebee. Theirs, on the other hand, had a sort of horrible, vicious, intermittent whine, like a ghastly foreign mosquito.
Meanwhile, England was blanketed in security.
Now, wait a moment. How should we arrange this signpost, then? Let's put, Lyme Regis, where Ipswich was.
Right, Ipswich where Great Yarmouth was.
And Great Yarmouth, where Lyme Regis was. I think that's
That'll fool the boss.
That'll fool them right. Bye-bye, then. Bye-bye. Here. How do we get home?
Home? Home? The very word had a sort of comforting sound, didn't it? Homes whose very foundations were built upon the air. Young men, scarcely boys, tossed aside youthful things and grew up overnight in that grimmer game which is war. A game where only one side was playing the game. Young men flocked to join the few.
Please, sir, I want to join the few.
I'm sorry, there are far too many.
From the rugby fields into the air.
From the squash courts into the clouds.
From the skiffs into the Spitfires.
This was war.
I had a pretty quiet war, really. I was one of the few. We were stationed on at Biggin Hill. One Sunday, we got word Jerry was coming in. Over Hastings, I think it was. And I got up there as quickly as I could, and everything was very calm and peaceful. England lay like a green carpet below me. The war seemed worlds away. I could see Tunbridge Wells, the sun glinting on the river. I remembered that last weekend I'd spent there with Celia that summer of 13. Suddenly, Jetty was coming at me out of a bank of clouds. I let him have it, and I think I must have got him in the wing because he spiraled past me out of control. As he did so, I'll always remember this, I caught a glimpse of his face. And you know, he smiled. Funny thing, war. Don't let him carry, let him sing, don't let him swim. Let's have another fight. Come on, drink up,
Perkins. Sorry, sir. Perkins. Sorry to drag you away from the fun, old boy.
That's all right, sir.
War's not going very well, you know.
Oh, my God.
We're 2 down and the ball's in the enemy court.
Yes, sir.
War's a psychological thing, Perkins, rather like a game of football.
Yes, sir.
You know how in a game of football, 10 men often play better than 11.
Yes, sir.
Perkins, we're asking you to be that one man.
Sir.
I want you to lay down your life, Perkins.
Right, sir.
We need a futile gesture at this stage. It'll raise the whole tone of the war.
Yes, sir.
Get up in a crate, Perkins.
Right, sir.
Pop over to Bremen.
Yes, sir.
Take a shufti.
Right, sir.
Don't come back.
Right, sir.
Goodbye, Perkins. God, I wish I was going to.
Goodbye, sir. Or perhaps it's au revoir.
No, Perkins.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover tomorrow. Just you wait and see. I'll never forget the people I met braving the wild.
Tally ho, Velvet Leader. Down there on the left. Stokers!
Roger, here we go. Attacking now. Yellow section, keep your eyes peeled for the escort. Spitfire!
ME 109, Peter, on your tail. They've got the blighter. Bloody Hun.
Peace ever after tomorrow when the world is free.
Good show, good show.
Bandit, 12 o'clock high. Look out, cockpit. He's heading straight for you. What am I supposed to do? Spit on him?
So anyway, by the way, that was later called Schradermusik. And it became silver tinsel sort of stuff they dropped to foil, literally, the British radar. And the Germans came up with that funny name for it, shredded music. Oh my God, it's just so funny, all this stuff. And nobody kind of pays any attention to the funny stuff. It's all laying there all tangled up, and the museums haven't got time to get it all in order. And nobody else has time to even remember it. It's great stuff. Well, I'm expecting you to record some of these, especially this one, because it may be my last broadcast. Speaking of World War II, remember there was Earl, what was his name? Shouldn't be forgotten either. He was a German spy, but he was British, and he had this upper-class British manner, and he would broadcast things to try to demoralize everybody. Of course, they wouldn't listen. He was the wrong class. If they'd had one of those lower-class Brixton Cockney guys from London broadcasting demoralizing messages about how they couldn't have any more dyed green pea soup. And they probably would have all given up. But Lord Haw Haw was his name.
I remember during the war we'd run errands for the soldiers studying to be pilots and bombardiers, navigators at the college, running across 12th Avenue East in the night before bedtime, school nights. Smell of autumn, leaves burning in backyards. Past Donna Dennis's house. She had thick ankles. We'd wave at each other, and some guys going on to the college to deliver their hamburgers, and others going to Chet's for a second or third run. You had nickel burgers, and dime burgers, and 15-cent burgers. And he wore barber pants with those small black and white checks that were all shiny in the back, and he had kind of worn out black shoes, and he looked like Turin Bay. He always had a sort of a grayish white shirt. Well, anyway, we would run these burgers back and forth, and I remember the smell of hamburgers and greasy, warm brown bags. We'd get to the college with our delivery and call out hamburgers. The soldiers would give us arm patches, insignia, and so on in exchange. And that was our most interesting part of the war and our contribution to it.
And smiled at me, a nightingale sang in Barclay's over London town, poor puzzled moon, he wore a frown. How could he know we two were so in love? The whole darn world seemed upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Barclay's.
Serenade in Blue, the New World Orchestra. W.C. Fields in Never Give a Sucker an Even Break, 1941. Aftermath of War, 1961, the BBC, courtesy of CBC Toronto. World War II footage, the British War Museum, London, and the German Luftwaffe Archive, Berlin. The White Cliffs of Dover, When the Lights Go On Again, and We'll Meet Again by Vera Lynn, 1940. Humphrey Bogart in Chain Lightning, 1950. A nightingale sang in Berkeley Square, Glenn Miller. Credits by someone passing through Trafalgar Square, and copyright 1999.
Away, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square.
Dedicated to a good life and a good friend. To Wing Commander Paul O'Shea Tully, DSO DFC, over and out. We used to go out to Wiley Lake and ride our old fat tired bicycles. Wayne Milbrandt, and, let's see, it was John Flolo, Tommy. It was, Bernie Borden, and sometimes Gene Milbrandt would go with us. Remember the sparkly water, the hot summer sun. We usually wore old coveralls. And there'd be 2 or 3 bikes down on the north end, and then somebody'd eventually move around for the bluegills or the crappies or the sunfish around on the other side, on the east side. Once in a while we'd holler out to each other. It's about a 15-mile ride out there. I don't know how we managed that. And Wiley Lake had a special smell about it. You go out swimming and go in the old waterlogged, soggy, smelly changing room. There's a little building there, and you have to walk in this awful chemical mixture on the way out. And then you get into the sand, the old dock out there, and we'd swim underwater and go between people's legs and everything and dive off the end. And it'd be a long ride home at the end of the day if we were swimming or if we were fishing. Sometimes we'd go on our 35 Terraplane. My mom or dad would drive us out. Or the Flolos. And we'd stop at the, what do they call that place? On the south side. The, can't remember the name of it. Sanitary Grocery or something. Buy a Three Musketeers bar with a nickel that we had between us. And Then the smaller boys would get the tail end of it. That would be the, let me see, I forget this stuff. They had it was divided in 3 parts. Strawberry, chocolate, and then something else. And we would get the something else. A little bit of it. And, but when we went swimming, it was such fun. People shouting joyfully over the sounds of the lapping surf from the lake. The waves coming in on the dirty sandy shore. Seemed like hundreds of kids be out there hollering and shouting, having a good time. If moms and dads were there, they'd always be hailing their moms and dads to watch them. And they'd stand on somebody's shoulders and emerge out of the sparkling water like a porpoise splashing back in, drifting around in inner tubes. Timeless. Summer vacations were years long.